Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. BET Honors 2012. Let me start by saying that I really enjoyed this show, enjoyed the ceremony, and I probably enjoyed it a lot more because I was actually there. And it killed me to sit there for 3 and 4 weeks and not make a video about my experience, but they asked us to not really talk about the ceremony or spoil anything until after it aired. So now that it's been, broadcast, I can talk. But I really enjoyed the show, and it was something that was so well put together, and it was just so much positivity and progressiveness, and it was something that just showed us in a positive light, because in this day and age, there's not a lot of good imaging when it comes to people of color on TV. So I was really happy that this was something that was broadcast nationwide, and you got to see some of the accomplishments and the big achievements that people in my community have made over the past 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. So I really enjoyed it. Let me get right into this show. What I'll do is I'll try to talk about what I saw that didn't air and go from there and all this other stuff. But anyway, so I think the first person they honored Stevie first. And they had Arie come out and do whatever she was doing. Now, do you guys notice like India kept talking with her hands? Like while she was talking? I know I do it too, but she was like just animated. I was, pleasure principle. And I was like, okay, India. I don't know what she was going through that day, but I was like, India. And side note, speaking of India, I always thought she was such a nice, warm person and, so spiritual and brown skin and I am the sun and we are the moon and we will shine together through the rain and from up underneath the treetops, all that type of stuff. But no, she didn't act like that. Yeah, she really didn't give me the whole I'm boiling greens and digging and planting my seeds vibe. No, she was kind of standoffish the whole time. And like, basically I'm just talking about a small situation that happened where somehow she didn't make it back to her seat before the camera started rolling, so she had to temporarily stay in the section where the extra seat fillers were. So she was kind of not going off, but she was kind of making her comments about, I don't understand, this just doesn't make any sense, and yada yada yada. She's kind of saying her 2 cents to the nice people with the little head mics or whatever. And she had to sit by me, which was kind of cool, because I'm like, oh yeah, India. But like, she had a friend with her, and then I was sitting next to another person. And there was one open seat next to us, so she was like, you two, scoot down. And I was like, oh, strike one, excuse me, India. I guess you ain't the average girl from the video today. And, so then when she was getting ready to sit down, she changed her mind. She had the person sit next to the guy that was sitting next to me, and then she sat on the end, because I guess she didn't want to be bothered by us. But I was like, okay, India, whatever. And actually, I just said something wrong. They didn't honor Stevie first. What they actually did, Maya Angelou's segment was really the first section that they did. And it was because she had to leave for health reasons. I guess she couldn't really be out and about too long, so they went ahead and did her part first and then did everything else. So sorry about that. But back to Stevie's tribute. I'll come back to Maya Angelou's. Lettucey sang, did her thing. Like, Lettucey just went in, and Lettucey is so good where she just came and she did her thing in one take, and we were sold. Like, she sang up to the heavens and beyond, and then brought out Aretha Franklin, and then Aretha Franklin did her thing too. And at first I was nervous because I didn't know how Aretha was going to sound, because I remember Aretha was on The View like maybe a year ago and it didn't go that well, and I was really nervous for her. But Aretha shut me up. Like, Aretha came out there, she did the Till You Come Back to Me song Stevie actually wrote, and went in on it. Like, she killed that song. And then right when you thought she was finished, she said, no, I'm not finished yet. I got more for you. Come on, bring it up. And then they did Sign So Delivered, and I'm like, the whole place was just rocking. All of us were in there just going. And Aretha's singing too. I'm talking about singing. I was like, Aretha, I didn't even know you still had all that in you. So it kind of made me feel good to know that, hey, when it comes to honoring our own, we go in and we do well. And like, y'all saw when she walked down them stairs and she told them 2 people, help me get down the stairs. She got down the stairs and went all down the aisle, and you had Michelle Obama in there just cutting. I said, that's right. So that was a really magical moment. And what got me on Twitter, if y'all don't stop talking about Stevie Wonder and his hairline, let the man be great. It's not like he could, no, I'm not going to say that. But, okay, look, I understand that when we were all younger, the hairline was here and it just gradually moved back. But you know what, look, this is Stevie Wonder. So if he wants his hairline to be all the way back here and meet at the back of his ears, that's fine, because he could do that. That's Stevie Wonder. Alright, leave the hairline alone. Speaking of Michelle Obama, it was kind of crazy because she had so much security in there. It was so tight, and it was so funny because if you looked on the camera, you saw so many people in black suits that were in there kind of acting like they were enjoying the show, but honestly, they were all Secret Service people. I'm like, you couldn't do nothing. And they had told us, there's certain sections of the theater you can't walk in or you might get sniped or taken out, so you better be real cautious about what you do. So, that was kind of cool. Beverly Kearney was honored. I really enjoyed her speech. She had a very inspiring story. What pissed me off about the actual taping was they cut off a lot of her speech because she really went in and talked about a lot of things. And she really talked about how she was somewhat a little disgusted with how people were treating Barack Obama and how people should give him a chance and all that stuff. And I was excited about that, but of course, they took that off the air. They said, we can't put that in yet. Take it off. So, but her story was very motivating. Common's a really cool guy, too, because there was a portion where this is right, like while he was performing, I don't know, if his seat was open, so then the person was like, we need somebody to fill his seat. So then I got to fill his seat right after his performance. So now I'm sitting in the front row talking to somebody, he's having a good time, and yada, yada, yada. And then he came back, because you know when the celebrities take their seat back, so you got to go back to the little seat filler pit, and they'll call you for another seat. And he was like, hey man, I'm sorry, you got to move, I'm sorry. I'm like, you ain't got to apologize to me, Common. That's cool. So, you know, just to have Common say anything to me, or acknowledge that I was there was really cool. So then I went back to my seat, and what was funny was the organizers, these like two white women, kept lusting over Common, because Common kept coming back in our section for some reason, doing other stuff. And this little white lady was just like, she was talking to the other white lady, and she was, oh, that man there, he is just, oh, God, he's to die for. He's just so masculine, and just the way he walks, and just look at him. And they're sitting there high-fiving and stuff. I was like, okay, all right. And, but yeah, the Anthony Hamilton and Common performance was really cool. Oh, and tell me why. During the Anthony Hamilton and Common performance, which actually I think this was really during the Tuskegee Airmen portion. I don't know why I said it was during Beverly Kearney's speech. But two cameramen were fighting. Like, I don't know what was going on with the cameramen that night, but they just kept having these run-ins. First of all, there was the guy that was running the big camera, like that big long camera that extends out over the theater and kind of spins around. I was by him for a temporary moment, and he's sitting here doing this stuff and moving the camera. And then out of nowhere, this other cameraman from the other side comes in. He's like, what was that you just said to me? You want to do something? I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all not going to cut up at my ceremony. Y'all can do that at the VMAs or the Grammys or the Oscars. But this BET Honors, all right, we're going to attempt to keep it classy tonight. Or whatever. And so I don't know what they were fussing about. But then it must have ended or whatever. And then fast forward like an hour later. Like this cameraman with this thing here, he was getting frustrated because there was a certain section in that region you couldn't step into, or you would mess up his camera lighting and mess up his camera cues, and people kept walking in and stepping, and the Secret Service people were doing it. He got so mad he yelled at the Secret Service. I was like, this man is bold. It was like this little skinny white man just going off, and I don't mean to just keep bringing up race, but I'm just saying I need you guys to visualize what I'm talking about. So this little skinny white man going off on this big super black man, freaking just big black man. This big black man, you know he protects Michelle Obama. You know, like, he'll snap somebody's neck in half. And the cameraman is going off on the Secret Service guy about stepping over the line and being in his camera zone. And I was like, all right, well, let me stay back here for a minute and see what's about to go down. But, so that was that. I really enjoyed the Tuskegee Airmen tribute. That was very nice and very warming. And it was right in time for the movies, because I think I saw Red Tails like the following weekend. And, that was really cool. Time out. Then Jennifer Hudson came out and performed one of the songs off the Red Tail soundtrack. And as much as I love Jennifer and I respect her voice and talent, for some reason, it was so loud when she went on stage. I don't know, and I'm not complaining about her actual voice or anything, but it was like, why is she so loud? Like, I don't know if they turned the mics up, but you know, Jennifer already has a powerful voice. And everything in it was like my ears, I had a headache. My ears were hurting by the time she got off stage. And I think everybody felt the same way. Everybody was like, why is it so loud? Like, and it was weird because Lettucey is a screamer too. Like, Lettucey is a powerhouse vocalist. Take you there, Chitlin Circuit, scream all day, all night, and find every key that you didn't even think a person could hit. But when Lettucey did it all, we were fine. We were going with it. But J Hud came out, and it was just like boom, boom, boom in your face. And I was just like 8-9 rows back at this time from the stage. And I felt like I could feel her breath hit me in the face. And it's like, Jennifer has such a powerful voice, but you can't put a powerful voice with a PA system that's turned up all as loud as it can go, because it just doesn't go well. So they needed to turn the PA system down. They know that Jennifer is a very strong singer, and you know she's always going to come out strong, so they should have kind of turned the PA system down, at least for her performance, because it was so loud. It was a great performance, though. It was just loud. We were like, okay, all right, thanks, J-Hud. And, the Maya Angelou portion, which was at the beginning of the show, this is something that is always sad to me and hurts my heart. I just hate seeing our entertainers get older and, you know, get to that age where they're not able to do things for themselves anymore, because it just goes to show how time moves on. Like, I remember it hurt my heart when I was at the ceremonial groundbreaking for the Martin Luther King Memorial back in '07, and they had to, you know, roll Maya Angelou in a wheelchair. That just tore me up. So then watching her at this was even worse, because like, the cameras made it seem like she just, they said Maya Angelou, whatever, and she got up, walked over and sat down. No, it took like 5 minutes for her to get to her actual seat, actual event. Like, they got up and helped her get up, and then they helped her up the stairs, and that took a process. And then, they already had the chair ready on the stage, and, they got there, and she got there, and then she had to sit down and take a few breaths. And then I was like, oh, all of my people are just getting up there, and what's making it sad is that there's nobody coming in to fill the voids that these people are leaving behind. So, but I'm really glad that they honored her. She had a phenomenal speech. Everything she said was so true and just so motivating, and it's just an honor to see her again. So I loved Maya Angelou. I loved every moment of it. And then for her tribute, what they did was, if you saw it, there was Queen Latifah, Cicely Tyson, Willow Smith, and did I say Jill Scott? Jill Scott, Queen Latifah, Cicely Tyson, and Willow. And it was very well put together. And of course, Jill Scott got all the sexy lines, because I was about to wonder what they were going to do when they had the line about the diamond in between my thighs. I'm like, are y'all going to have Willow Smith really say that one? So I'm glad they saved that line for Jill Scott. And Michelle Obama, I just love our First Lady. Like, we have such a cool first family in our office right now. They're just so cool and down to earth. The fact that Michelle Obama can come, and she said such a great speech about Maya, and then the fact that she sat through the entire ceremony. She could have came in with all them 80,000 Secret Service people, did her Maya Angelou speech and bounced, but she sat through the whole ceremony. All the laughs, the jokes, and she was just down to earth. She was cool. I love Michelle Obama. Then it got into the Spike Lee tribute. And John Singleton, as much as I love John Singleton, when I tell you it took him about 800-900 times to get that teleprompter speech together, I was like, John, man, come on. Like, he was having such a hard time reading the teleprompter, but he said he was nervous, so I was like, okay, that's fine. So then when they finally got it together, and then, they did the Spike tribute, and Stevie's performance was great. He had the 5-piece Stevie band. I don't know if you could really understand what was going on the TV, because I don't know if they did a good job of really showing it all. But there was no band on the stage. It was only Stevie. It was Stevie playing the piano, and then it came the clip of Stevie on the drums, and the drums came in. And then Stevie on the guitar, and the guitar came in. And Stevie on the synthesizer, and the synthesizers came in. And it was a 5-piece band with Stevie, so that was cool. And he did his thing with that. And he had to do his performance twice, which was kind of cool, but then you're like, dang, just because he did Living for the City. Living for the City is like a 9-minute song. And he was at the very end of the performance. They had just did the part where they do the skit and the boy gets arrested, and then, they bring it back in, and he was just getting there, and I think he had forgot the words. So he was like, whoa, stop, start it over. I was like, oh, we were doing so good. And it was just so magical, because the first one was so good, you didn't want him to do it again, because I'm like, is he going to do it again? But he did it again, and it was just as good as the first one. So, Stevie, you bad. School me. So I enjoyed Stevie's. When they introduced that guy Luke James, who nobody had ever heard of, to do those songs, like Luke James, he did an excellent job. Just very well put together. Very excellent vocalist. I really, really, really hope his career takes off, because we need some more actual vocalists in the industry right now. So, L.A. Reid came out, he did his stats on Mariah. Then Kelly Rowland came out, and she did Fantasy. And it was kind of cool, because when I actually came into the actual ceremony, I came in while Kelly was still rehearsing. So when I saw what she did, I'm like, this is going to be good. I can't wait to see the full thing. So then, when it was the actual ceremony, Kelly performed it once. It was perfect. We were jamming, having us a good time. And then, for some reason, she had to do it again. I don't understand why. Maybe it must have been something with the mics or the cues or something with the camera. But Kelly's first performance was fine. So for all those people that had been on the internet saying, yes, she was terrible, she had to do it twice, that's not true. Kelly did excellent. So then the second time she did it probably even better than the first time. And it was really good. And then Patty came out, and she did Hero. And I love Patty, but Patty was a little different that time. I didn't really enjoy it like I thought I was going to. I don't know if maybe she might have been sick. I think Patty's a legend, and it's very honorable that Patty can humble herself down to honor somebody else who's 20 years, younger than her, and vice versa. And that's what I also respected about Stevie. Stevie was actually being honored at the ceremony, and not only did he get honored, but he helped and honored somebody else. So that's very humbling. Probably my favorite moment of the entire night was for like the last 20 minutes. I got to sit in the very front row, because that was when they had all the big names on the stage. Like, they had all, when they talk about this is what excellence looks like, they had all of them on the stage. So I got to sit in the seat where I think I took Common's seat again, or for some reason Common wasn't in his seat again, so I got a seat again. And then on the stage, there was Michelle, there was Mariah, there was Beverly, there was Stevie, there was Spike, there was Gabrielle Union. And y'all, if y'all don't know by now, I love Gabrielle Union. So I'm sitting there. Now, they told us, do not talk to the celebs. Do not bother the celebs. Don't ask for no autographs. Just leave them alone. You just sit there, and you fill in the chair, and you just look nice. And y'all know I ain't about to do that. So I'm sitting in the front row, and Gabrielle Union is like right here to me. And I'm like, Gabrielle, like, or whatever. And she actually looked in my direction. I was like, ah, and I was like, yes. And that was like during the off time when they weren't taping. So I was like, And then not only that, since Michelle was next to her, I was like, well, let me see if I can get the first lady too. Michelle, Miss Obama, Mrs. Obama. And you know, I was trying to do that like head nod thing, and she kind of caught it, and she did. I said, I'm good. Now, Mariah didn't even look in my direction, so I couldn't get Mariah, but that's okay. I got Gabrielle Union and Michelle Obama to acknowledge my presence, so that was fine enough. Nick Cannon was there with the 2 babies. Now, let me say, I love babies, and babies are cute, but Mariah's baby has such a big forehead. Like, that forehead is bigger than mine. You know, I got forehead for days. And, I think the baby's gonna grow into it, though, because, like, when I was a baby, I showed the picture, but I don't feel like digging it up and uploading it. I had the biggest forehead, like, it, like, went out, and it was tall. And that's what is it Morocco or Moroccan? That's what Moroccan's head reminds me of. It reminds me of my head when I was little. So hopefully, Moroccan, you'll grow into yours like I grew into mine. Or I think I grew into mine. Did I grow into mine? I don't know. But that baby had such a big head. But the baby was cute. I was like, and I love that Mariah was so cool and so humble. And they did the beatboxing thing. And like, I like Mariah and Nick. I like those 2 together now. The baby was just adorable. But that baby's head was so big. I was like, Lord. I was like, is that how my kid's going to come out? Like, I need to go find somebody that don't got a forehead. Like, I'm going to have to marry, what's that girl off the Housewives of New Jersey whose hairline, like, starts right above her eyebrows? I'm going to have to marry her to balance out how big my forehead is to my baby. I know I'm going left field, but I'm just saying. What else is there? What else is there? Is there anything else? I think I've kind of covered it all. It was just a really great event. It was fun. I had a great time being there. Very magical. I was very motivated and inspired to just do well for a while. It's something that's really inspiring. I don't know if I already told you I got a speeding ticket trying to get to this thing, so I really enjoyed the ceremony. And you know, basically that's it. Also, I know some of you guys are getting a little frustrated with some of the comments that you're seeing people leave on one of the videos that I made like a few weeks ago. Don't worry about them, okay? You know, one thing I've learned is some people feel that being ignorant is the only way that they can get their point across. So you know that they want to sit there and drop the N-word and everything else to try to make themselves feel high and mighty. That's fine. Let them go ahead and fit their own stereotype. We're not going to give energy to that. And I'll make a video addressing them later. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Hope you get everything you want for Christmas. Enjoy your Valentine's Day and be safe. Peace out.